Welcome to Massage Chair Relief Live, the podcast designed to educate, inform, discuss, and critique the relatively new massage chair industry. Join your host, Dr. Alan Widener, to become a massage chair expert and avoid multiple pain points in your search for the perfect massage chair.
Hello, this is Dr. Alan Widener from Massage Chair Relief, and today we are interviewing Kevin Metcalfe, one of our customers that recently purchased a Luraco i9. That's the Luraco i9 Max Plus SE to be exact. But Kevin, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you.
Good afternoon, Dr. Wagner. I appreciate you inviting me to this, and it's my honor, and looking forward to it.
Well, good to have you. So tell me a little bit about, and I don't know what your experience is with massage chairs. Had you owned one before? Have you been looking for long? Tell me how you came about the concept of a massage chair.
So a couple years ago, while in Florida with my dad out in he's actually in Sun City. He had a Osaki, and still has it, I believe, or he might have got a new one. But we really enjoyed it during the Christmas holidays a couple years ago. And so when I moved here, that was the plan. Get me a nice massage chair.
Well, tell me a little bit about the journey. How did you find us? What kind of a process did you go through?
So, similar to while we were down there, we in fact checked out some chairs while we were there. And when I came here, I went to a few shops and then just kind of get an idea of what was out there, because I really didn't know. Really, my only exposure was Osaki, and then with the ones that you see at the airports. So my old airport, Destin, had one, and so I had seen them out there. They did pretty well. And so when I came here, I felt that it was time to get one. It's kind of like good shoes, a good bed. So it was good time for a good chair.
Good chair, and you got it.
Yeah.
Well, was first of all, do you have any complaints, like were there any back pain or neck pain or stress relief? What were you actually looking for the chair? For what purpose was it?
Yeah, so I'm a 56-year-old veteran, former military working dog trainer, and real active. So coach soccer, surf, cliff dive, raced motorcycles. And so, I like that extreme life. And with that, your body needs something to help get it back together. And so having said that, my job now, I find myself managing a lot of dog teams for Homeland Security throughout the state of Utah. So I walk quite a bit. And so for conversation piece would be, the entire footprint for Salt Lake City Airport. So work with a lot of dog teams and stuff. And then when I come home, I'll either coach soccer, I'll go biking, hiking. So I'm checking out all the new sites to replace all that I lost from Hawaii and Florida, the vast oceans and beaches and
to the desert.
Yep. Now it's mountains, so having said all that, it's, I come home and I still like to, I'm getting used to the winter. So this is new to me. And so I got me a Rep Nighthawk bench and bike and row machine. And so my workouts. And so after my long day at work, I still try to stay fit, do my activities. And afterwards, I need something to help me recover. And yeah, that's what led to the Luraco specifically. Yeah. I did a lot of research. So, with the advent of AI, Chat GPT, Copilot, Gemini, all that, it made it really easy to research all of it. And then obviously you guys, Stan, is who I, came across, and he was real helpful at was it Taylorsville, I believe is the, I'm still getting used to it. But so that's where he was at. I had been to several shops before, but after doing some research, Osaki, Daiwa were kind of my top two ones prior to coming across the Luraco.
Uh-huh.
You guys, when I did the research, had them all there, the ones I was looking for. Um, I forget the specifics, but like the Daiwa has like the Supreme Duo or something like that with the
Yeah.
stretch.
Supreme hybrid, yeah.
Yeah, and so we really liked that one. That was probably where we were heading, and we checked out the Osaki Duo setup. I forgot what that was called, but it had a similar name.
Yeah, the Duo
And
Max.
but what it came down to was yeah, the Duo Max. And so then comparing all of them, with my lifestyle, I had knee surgery, blew out my neck and my back, was out for about 8 months in therapy.
Holy cow.
And so I have, just my lifestyle and stuff. It's, I've got to work through all that all the time. And so the massage chairs, I was looking at it, and where the Daiwa had that really good stretch, probably the best I'd ever come across.
Mhm.
Everything else I was looking for, so isolating, so my knee itself, aside from my neck and back, was working through that, and then just walking all the time, your feet, and so the research, um, looking at ways to get a massage. So I felt that the Daiwa and the Osaki were just like my introduction with my parents. It did a great job, full run, full body.
Mhm.
But when it came down to isolating it, and so when you do the research of Luraco, the medical grade capabilities, so to go through therapy specific and just say, hey, I just want to do my neck and
Yeah.
my back, the heat isolation and all of those areas also being part of that I could
Yeah.
do my hands or my neck or my back or my feet. Um, the rollers on your hands, forearms, your feet, your calves, um, those, to me, that kind of sets the pace, the most sensitive areas. And then you go into your neck and your back. So that's kind of, I made a custom setup for 30 minutes for my, just that isolation area.
Yeah.
And then I'll do another 30 minutes using the stretch or the nighttime mode. So for a full hour. So that's pretty
Wow.
much my routine in the evenings,
Every day.
every day.
Wow. That's
And
great.
my wife as well, and all my family and friends, when they come, I've brought them in, and I've reserved one or two spots on the remote so I can change it out for them. So I have
Yeah.
mine, tell them don't touch, the master's settings. And then my wife, so it sizes you all up, you customize it, you set it. So my wife has hers. My kids were here for the holidays, and so I had them in there. And then, when it maxes out, you switch up.
Yeah.
But with that kind of use, the research I was looking at, so when you consider the cost,
Yeah.
and I just use 7,000 as a marker on up, saying, hey, that's what you can expect to pay.
Yeah.
Well, researching all of them to include the Osaki and Daiwa, Better Business Bureau, Trustpilot, different forums. What I saw after a few years of use, or a lot of use, probably to the extent that I use it, is that they fell apart, peeled, the as far as the cover.
Upholstery. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the synthetic that's found in pretty much everybody else except for the Luraco.
Yeah.
And then the warranty. So a lot of conversations with you. It was just when you're talking about that kind of investment and more than just a luxury, but for therapy, for treatment and stuff. The It just made sense to go with the Luraco, one of the trusted brands as far as medical grade,
Yeah.
the automobile grade leather,
Yeah. Yeah.
all of that, just touch of class and quality, all just was obvious to me. Stan and I, we talked a lot about it, about the lot, the durability of the different chairs, then the ability to program it, customize it, change it on the fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all of those things led to me purchasing that. And then you guys, as far as, you and I talked as far as medical, VA, just different things. So my dad, that was one of the conversations in Florida was, the tax-free, for medical. And then the offer you guys had at the time was $2,000 off. So just you guys white glove setup. So Stan and his wife came down, personal touch came in
Yeah.
and set up. So you guys made it easy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Uh, you know, the Luraco has it can be a little bit more gentle massage if you need gentle. Some of the other chairs, like the hybrid and like the Dual Max, they don't, even their lowest setting is still pretty intense. Do you find that you're using different intensities with the chair? Like certain times of the day, I got to have more mellow at this time of night, or I really wanted to dig in. Does the chair give you that kind of versatility?
It does. So, from light to extreme, so to speak, um, the intensity, you can take it to where you want. And in my opinion, to the same level as the Daiwa, I would say,
Yeah.
or back it off. I personally am the kind of guy that I like back to my extreme life, maxed out. So I
Yeah.
like the rough massages on the neck, the back. I don't use the headrest. I flip it. But when I have family members over, they have a hard time. In fact, I think I spoke with you, Stan, and the tech team from Luraco that called me up after you guys reached out to them. And there was a situation with the feet that my father couldn't handle, and I would say
Really?
other family members had some difficulties. So a phone call. They called me up and pictures and whole 9 yards. They walked me through it, removed a few pieces on the foot massage area, and it made it much more tolerable for them.
Huh. How did your dad like the chair compared to his chair?
He liked it. The hardest part was not being used to the foot massage,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just how intense it was and the heat. So he
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
used to the
Plenty of
heat
heat.
that the Luraco producer. Or me, I like it that hot. But after modifying it, changing the settings, you can pretty much set it up for anybody.
Yeah. It's a very accommodating chair in terms of the programming and the features that you can use, and like isolating the intensity of the rollers in one part of the spine versus another, or adjusting the airbag intensity on one area of this of the body than another. A lot of chairs you can't do that. So that chair does have a lot of programming freedom, a range to try whatever you want to do and whatever you want to make for different parts of your body.
Right.
And I do like that about that chair. Did the fact that it was made in America have any bearing on your decision?
Not for me. So, I raced for Honda, and you compared I raced Harley Davidson, as funny as that sounds. So when I lived in Hawaii, I got to experience, I will say, American versus Japanese. So I've always been Japanese,
Yeah.
uh, headed towards as far as quality. I mean, you think your phones and stuff like that. So it
Mhm.
really wasn't a factor in that sense, um, but just the reviews and the quality and the comparisons that were out there, and then
Uh-huh.
just experience it and to see it. Um, it's that's what sold me on it.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about again the investment, it's more than just hey, just having something in a luxury of hey, I got a massage chair. This is serious quality. Uh,
So
yeah.
you're really benefiting health wise from it. I mean, I listened to your story about being in the military, being an extreme sports athlete. I mean, I was never an extreme sports athlete, but I played a lot of sports, and my body hurts now. I've got a bad knee because of a torn ACL years ago. I've got a sore back from playing hockey for years. Like I kind of rely on a chair just to relax the muscles, and like it's part of my therapy. It's not just a feel good kind of thing. I think you can relate to that.
Oh, 100%. So prior to picking up the chair, I had neck and back problems all the time. Every day, every other day,
Yeah.
uh, carrying a backpack and a laptop and going up and down stairs and working with the dogs and hiking and just, just different things. And you're going, hey, that's the life I live.
Yeah.
And to be able to mitigate all that afterwards and be prepared again. Yeah,
Yeah.
I told my boss and several of my partners, I said, man, I remember when I wouldn't pay 30, 40 bucks for shoes. Now you're willing to pay 150, 200 Merrills, Solomons, whatever, clouds. So those are the shoes I wear now. And then
Yeah.
same thing with a bed. What kind of mattress did you have? Well, I have a Tempur-Pedic now. I've had for a long time now, but way before that, I wouldn't have done it. But after going through hey, let's put the wine glass on there and the keys and see if I can do a backflip and land on it and see if I feel it. And the wine not move, or the beer or whatever. But
Yeah.
wow, I should have did this a long time ago.
Oh man.
So the chair was that next move, the same thing.
Yeah.
It's same way with your cars, you didn't have the lumbar support and the heat and everything else. I think the only thing that's missing is a Luraco inside my car.
Yeah. Well, it's got the car leather. It's just going to be a tough fit. Do you have you found, I mean, obviously you're using it for probably recovery from working out and being active and for some pain relief, but did you notice any other benefits of having a massager? You've had yours for a while now. Did you notice any difference in breathing or in range of motion or in sleeping or anything like that? Did anything subtle that you hadn't planned on?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it subtle. I mean, so I have different health issues and even going through the VA now, but I can tell you that, with the knee surgery and sleep apnea, you can talk about diabetes and stuff, they'll talk about different things, but I can tell you right away, after routine use, my back and neck pains went away.
Jeez.
I don't have them unless I just overdo it. And even
Wow.
then, I feel like that the chair will help me to get through it. If it ain't that evening, it'll be within a day or two and smooth it out.
Wow.
Same way, as far as sleep apnea, um, if it's in the evenings, it'll put me to sleep in the right modes. So, you got your night modes, your stretch modes.
Yeah.
You can, tailor it, soften up, like you said, and just get you ready.
Yeah.
So there's huge benefits to it. It's an investment in my daily health.
Yeah.
Now it's in my room with my workout bench, so maybe that's a conflict of interest.
No, that's a good thing. You can recover after lifting weights.
Right. No, I got the row machine is what I like, and then I'll turn around and hit the bench and my full body workouts, and then hot shower, and then I'm in the chair for an
Wow.
hour.
That's
So
pretty awesome. Well, that chair is a well-built chair. It'll give you a lot of years, even with the intense use that you and your wife are getting out of it right now. But yeah, you got a good chair. What is there anything on the chair that you'd change if you had the freedom to do so? Anything about it that you don't like or that you wish was a little bit better? Or
I like it. If there was anything I could change, it would be the decline, I guess.
okay.
So you had the zero gravity,
Hmm.
and I guess to like the extent of the Daiwa. So that was the only thing I would say. Pound for pound, overall, Luraco can't be beat.
Yeah.
However, the Daiwa with its stretch, I mean, I remember it popping my hip and back all at the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, I've seen this, it was on the Munsters.
It's like those racks, the racks that they put you on.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the hybrid does have a very good stretch. The Luraco has a good stretch, but it's not quite as intense.
Right.
It doesn't fully extend you like the hybrid does,
Yeah.
but there's trade-offs, right? Some chairs have certain things, others that you like better, and you got to find the best fit, and it sounds like you have. If you so for someone that's watching this video, what advice would you give them in the search for a massage chair, in the search for a retailer? What kinds of things would you tell people to be aware of?
So I mean, as with anything, you do your due diligence and you got to make that decision for yourself. But I think if you go by objectives, what you're trying to accomplish, that's what you got to look for. For me, it was the ability to get the full body work, massage that you're looking for, then to be able to isolate it, to be able to customize it on the fly,
Wow.
change it. I don't think there's any others that do that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, that's my experience from my research and even testing them.
Yeah.
So we were really sold on the Daiwa. However, to be able to isolate to just my neck for 30 minutes or just my back or my leg or hands and feet coming out of, below zero weather here.
Yeah.
But it's, hey, I can isolate that and work through it. When you consider the use, so huge for me, and like anything else, I believe in quality and things that's going to last. And when you're talking about synthetic material, leather, I mean, everybody's experienced it, I'm sure, to one degree. If they didn't experience it, they've seen it.
Yeah.
And to see your investment start peeling away in 3 years or 4 years,
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
have to say that would be upsetting for me.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. It's frustrating for us too because not every chair does that, but every company has certain chairs within the production that do that, and it's very, very frustrating.
Yeah. So the Luraco, with the automobile grade leather and then the warranty that goes with it. So that was a discussion between, with Stan and with you and then the research. What do they all go? Right around that 3 years.
Yeah,
Why? And then you turn around and you look at the Luraco and it's a 5 year warranty, right? And then the
right.
10 year on the leather. And then so I went to several shops around the area and you guys is set up your services. I'm looking at moving as we talked about. So I'm in a rental now, but we'll probably likely buy a house here in a few months.
Hmm.
And so, they have that assurance from you guys to relocate it
Yep.
at no cost. That's all appealing and heads above anybody else that I've looked at or, spoken with.
Well, our lifetime labor warranty is a big deal. We've always thought it was, but I don't think all customers realize that. Uh, you think 5 years, I got a 5-year warranty. And some salesmen even say, well, after 5 years, you don't need any more warranty because the chairs never break down. And we keep track of those numbers, and there is a failure rate, and it increases with the age of the chair,
Right.
regardless of brand or model. And so lifetime labor warranty, and I can tell what you mentioned earlier, but I know that's important to you. Some people couldn't care less. They just want to get the cheapest deal and more power to them. But if you have a chair for 5 or 6 years and all of a sudden it's breaking down on you, it can get pricey
Right.
with
I
parts
agree.
and labor. So that's a good thing to have. Yeah. Um, uh, the uh, the feature set of the Luraco chair is very unique, and it's a good set, and I really do believe you got a fantastic chair. Of course, you know that, but the American made thing is it's kind of a selling point for the company that makes it and for the retailers that sell it. But the fact that and the fact that it's American made, not just because of quality, but because of accessibility. All their engineers are right here in Texas. If there's a complication with the chair or a problem with the chair, they've got people they can tap into immediately to resolve it too. And I do like that about the domestic production. If you have a chair that's built in China or Japan, and they don't have an answer here, the distributor doesn't have an answer, they have to communicate with Japan and China, maybe have to make a change and then export, send out a part that's going to take a while to get here. So I like the accessibility of the U.S. based manufacturer.
Yeah.
And, I don't think everybody's.
You had asked that question. I really didn't consider that. And, like I said, I've primarily been a Japanese product person, camera, computers,
Yeah,
cars. However, there has been times I can say that when I needed a part and it wasn't available for a while, then, obviously it was a problem.
yeah,
So to what you just said, as far as availability, that all makes sense. I just haven't encountered that yet.
yeah. Well, and may you never encounter it.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you do, it's good to know that you've got. And we always say when you buy a chair from us, you're like family because you can't get rid of us. If there's a problem with your chair after the factory warranty expires, or even during the factory warranty, we will walk you. We will help you submit the ticket and make sure you get taken care of every step of the way. And so it is we have a different approach to support. But Luraco is very, very good. They have great support. They're very attentive if anything goes wrong with their chairs. And again, knock on wood, you may never have a problem with it for 15, 20 years. But if you do, especially with high frequency of use, eventually things wear out. Uh, Chairs, cars, bodies, appliances, and yeah, they're a good company to have in your court. That's for sure.
I agree.
Well, that's about all I can think of. Is there anything else you want to add before we close, Kevin? Anything that we haven't covered?
No, I think you covered everything. It's the experience with you guys, that's made it easy and real personal. You guys took care of everything, and it wasn't that you guys steered me one way or the other. It was, hey, check out all of these different chairs, experience it. You make that decision. You get into places and they will hard sell you.
Yeah,
I went through a couple of places not too far from your own shop,
yeah,
and they were pressuring to no end.
yeah,
And Stan was just like, hey, whatever, and then spoke highly of you, and then was just like, yeah, we can, put you guys in contact. And so, like when we talked about the medical and your background and being
yeah,
able to answer everything, that just was, the icing on the cake for sure.
yeah,
And so, just to everything that you talked about, from the product to the service, I appreciate everything that you guys provide.
yeah. Well, thanks. We feel lucky to have crossed paths. I'm glad that you ended up in our store and we were able to take care of you and without the pressure. No arm twisting. But
Right.
we appreciate it. But thank you so much for taking time to be here today and be on this call. I know it's like evening time here, and you probably got better things to do than sit around talking to a massage chair guy. But yeah, thank you.
Not at all.
Well, call if you need anything. We're always there. If anything goes wrong with the chair, you let us know.
Sounds good.
Hey,
Uh,
thank you for all your time,
Thank you.
Kevin. Appreciate you very much.
Take
We'll see
care.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Massage Chair Relief Live podcast. Subscribe to this podcast and be notified of each episode. Check out our main website at massagechairrelief.com for much more valuable information on the massage chair industry and marketplace.